Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Microeconomi binti Wan Samsudin. My metric number is 62226. I will explain about introduction. We will discuss about market structure. Market structure usually refers to the degree of competition or monopolistic power in markets. Perfect competition, oligopoly markets, monopoly market, and monopoly market are the four most common market structures. Market structures are influenced by the nature of goods and services, the number of sellers, the number of consumers, the nature of the product or service, economies of scale, and other factors.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Hisnina Aitira binti Muhammad Razi. My number metric is S62971. I would like to present our group assignment, which is market structure. For the perfectly competitive, my friend and I choose Farm Fresh Milk Sdn Bhd. As a background, Farm Fresh Milk Sdn Bhd is a firm with headquarters in Johor Bahru. It's in animal production and aquaculture business. Farm Fresh had two factories operating in Bandar Muazzam Shah Pahang and Langkin Johor, where the factory output capacity reached 12 million litres per year with an estimate 1 million per month. It was created in 2009, founded by Loy Tuan Lee and 30% owned by Khazanah Nasional Berhad dan investment arm of the government. The Wholesale Milk Company Sdn Bhd owns the Farm Fresh Milk Company. He noticed that many Malaysian businesses were selling powdered milk products, so he decided to buy a small piece of land in Johor and import 60 Holstein Jersey cows from Australia to start his own wholesale milk company. Mrs. Loy Tuan Yee solicited the support of his friend Encik Azmi Zainal as a partner and brought in Khazanah Nasional, the government of Malaysian Strategic Investment Agency, as an investor. Every year, the demand for Farm Fresh product rise dramatically. Farm Fresh expanded its business to meet rising demand by relocating to a larger plot of land in Mawai, Johor, and established a second farm in Muazzam Shah Pahang. The next part is the reason why Farm Fresh Milk is categorized as a perfectly competitive. The first reason is Farm Fresh Milk Sdn Bhd producing the minimum product. Each firm in a perfectly competitive market sells identical product, which also commonly termed homogeneous goods. For example, Farm Fresh also has the same product competition with other companies such as Dutch Lady, Good Day Milks, Farmhouse Fresh Milk, and so on. They look the same and taste the same. The most important is they satisfy the same customers' needs. The second reason is there are so many buyers and sellers. A product is produced and sold by a large number of firms. Since there are a large number of firms, therefore, each firm are supplying only a small part of the total supply in the market. Thus, no one firm has any market power. It implies that no firm can influence the price of the product, rather each must accept the price set by the force of the market demand and supply. For example, if Farm Fresh raises the price exceeds market price, they will lose customer, as there are many other firms that sells the same goods at a lower price. As a result, customer has a little cost of switching to the other substitute goods. The third reason is buyer and seller have perfect knowledge. In perfectly competitive, the firm and the buyer possess perfect information about the market. It implies that no buyer or firm is ignorant about the price prevailing in the market. For example, to reduce the cost, Farm Fresh changed the formula for preparing fresh milk in order to increase the company's profit. Indirectly, it will change the taste and the quality of the fresh milk. Customers will realize the change since they have a complete knowledge, and it can make them to switch to the other brand, which is Dutch Lady, Good Day Milks, Farmhouse Fresh Milk, and so on. The last reason is Firms are easy to entry and exit from industry. Firms are easy to entry and exit from industry, and it can cause the number of firms in industry are always increased. The freedom of entry and exit of the industry also guarantees firms from raising the price level through the reduction of goods on the market. Firm can enter and exit the market with a little cost. This can come with the form of financial, time, and information. For instance, farm fresh are free to exit from industry if they incur losses, and they also free to enter if other firms that are in the industry enjoy profit. So the next part is I will explain about the type of profit. In perfectly competitive, they have three type of profit, which is normal profit, supernormal profit, and less normal profits. So this slide shows supernormal profit. As we can see, the equilibrium of perfectly competitive at the point E, which is marginal cost equal to marginal revenue. The total revenue for this graph is PEQO, and the total cost of this graph is CAQO. So this shows that the firm earn supernormal profit, which is PEAC. So the next slide is normal profit. Normal profit will occur when the total revenue and the total costs are equal. That means there has no loss and no profit. As we can see, the equilibrium of perfectly competitive at the point E, which is marginal cost equal to marginal revenue. So the total revenue for this graph is PEQO, and the total cost for this graph also PEQO. So that means the firm earn normal profit, which is no loss and no profit. So the last type of profit is less normal profit. Less normal profit will happen when the total revenue less than total cost. That means the firm has to incur high costs compared to the total revenue earned. As we can see, the equilibrium of perfectly competitive at the point E, which is marginal cost equal to marginal revenue. So the total revenue for this graph is PEQO, and the total cost is CAQO. So that means the firm has earned less normal profit, which is PEAC. The next part is the characteristic of perfectly competitive. Perfect competitive is an industry structure in which a large number of enterprises produce similar goods. None of the companies are large enough to have an impact on the industry. The first characteristic of perfectly competitive is there are so many buyers and sellers in the market. There are numerous buyers and sellers in the perfectly competitive market. Firms are referred to price taker as a result of this. To put it another way, the firm must sell at the equilibrium price, which is the price at which supply and demand are equal. If they don't, they will go out of business because there are so many other companies who sell the same product for less money. The second reason is each company makes similar product. That means all the competitors sell similar product in a perfect competition. In economic language, this is referred to homogeneous. A good example is farm fresh. Many farmers sell milk to supermarket even the product is remarkably similar. In fact, supermarket routinely renegotiate their contract with dairy producers without informing their customers. The third characteristic of perfectly competitive is equal market share. This is because enterprises are unable to compete on pricing, so competitors have a similar market share. There is no room for price reduction because enterprises produce where marginal revenue equal marginal cost. If a company lowers its pricing, it will begin to lose money since it costs more to create than it does to sell. It can cause they go out of business. Meanwhile, if any firm raises price, there is enough competition to drive customers away from that store, thus putting it out of business. As a result, companies' opportunity to grow market share is limited. The next characteristic is buyer and seller have access to perfect information about the price. It is because the customer are always aware that a store down the street sells the same goods for a cheaper price. As a result, companies are hesitant to raise price in order to beat a competition. Furthermore, the customer is aware of the product's quality. One company might, for example, cut costs in order to deliver a lower quality product and increase profit. Customers will realize the product is substandard since they have complete knowledge. As a result, they will switch to the other competitor and it can cause the original firms to fail. The last characteristic of perfectly competitive market is there is no barrier to entry into or exit from the market. This is because the majority of fully competitive industry allow businesses to enter a quit with relative ease. Market entrance refer to the entry of new business into industry. The lack of government oversight and low startup costs make it easier to enter the market. A market exit refers to a company's decision to leave an industry. If there are no additional costs associated with shutting down the firm, the company are quickly depart the market.
My name is Nurul Shazwani binti Muhammad Noor. My metric number is ECO3033. I want to present about condition to maximum profit. A good and sustainable marketing needs strategy. We have marketed to market farm fresh to maximum profit. Farm fresh meat industry provide effective planning and implementation of marketing needs strategy to maintain its position as a market leader for the supply and marketing of dairy product. The company has used price penetration method, advertising strategy, sales promotion strategy, public relations strategy, and supply strategy to help market the highlighted product to the target audience. Farm Fresh has a market opportunity to expand its business by offering this healthy product abroad because the product produced are halal, thus making it easier for end users from foreign countries to accept the price of product in their place, and this will be able to maximum profit to the company. Product sales Farm Fresh began to increase at an early stage. This is because the product is starting to get loyal customers who buy the product repeatedly. Therefore, Farm Fresh Malaysia company has increased the production capacity of the product to meet the demand of its users to get a satisfactory profit rate.
The optimal level of production is profit more normal. The firm equilibrium of PPS is reached at point E when MR equal MC at the price level and the output is P and Q. Total revenue TR is PEQ0. Total cost TC is CAQ0. Due to TR rather than TC, the firm enjoyed a more normal profit of PEAC. Next, I want to introduce myself. My name is Nur Artira binti Muhammad Azam. Metric numbers S63380. I want to present about pricing practice. In Malay, penetapan harga. Pricing practice strategy refers to method that companies use to price their product service. Many of the companies base the price of their products or service on labor, production, expense, and at a certain percentage so they can make a profit.
Farm Fresh Sendirian Berhad has released its own brand of fresh milk, Farm Fresh, to ensure that fresh milk can be enjoyed by everyone in the world. According to the Director of Operation, Encik Azmi bin Zainal, Farm Fresh products now control 39% of the local fresh milk market through a unique marketing system. It is clear that although most imported dairy products use mixed milk by including fresh milk, milk powder, solids and preservative in their products, Farm Fresh remains one of the Malaysian dairy companies that market fresh milk directly from the farm. Pricing a product is important to achieve goals in organization. Pricing strategies relate to profitability and affordable pricing procedures. Price is important, so it must consider several factors and objectives of the product of brand. Typical, the personnel who determines the pricing objective before the actual price is set is the marketing manager. Pricing objectives are guidelines for developing and managing marketing strategies. The main objective of Farm Fresh Sendirian Berhad is to maximize their sales each year. Just like other companies, pricing is based on Farm Fresh consumption costs, which set a price that covers costs with a profit target. The market price is also determined by the demand and supply of Farm Fresh products in the market. There are three pricing strategies such as skimming strategy, penetration strategy, and competition strategy. Farm Fresh uses a penetration pricing strategy. Penetration pricing attracts customers with low product prices in the market for a limited period of time so that market acceptance is guaranteed. The penetration pricing strategy that Farm Fresh uses sacrifice immediate profits to build long-term relationship with buyer. Farm Fresh also uses psychological pricing such as Farm Fresh also use psychological pricing such as odd prices to entice a customer to buy their products. An odd price is a specific price or odd number below a whole number to make a product more attractive to attract buyers. For example, the price of 1 liter of Farm Fresh pure milk is Rm 7.85 each compared to Rm 8 ringgit. Most customers will only focus on the first number. This strategy suggests a bargaining sentence despite its price, which encourages buying. Next is optimal level of production. Farm Fresh Sendirian Berhad is a company that produces local dairy products from high quality, coarse milk, offering a variety of products such as fresh milk, date milk, yogurt, soy drink, and many more products produced. The company is one of the perfectly competitive market companies in Malaysia. The most optimal production for a perfectly competitive market is when the firm produce goods or service at a level of production where marginal cost MC equals marginal revenue MR. This is because at this point a company will get maximum profit in the short term. A level of production that is lower or higher than that level of production will not cause a competitive market company to be at an optimal level of production. This is because the company will earn low profits, but in the long run, the optimal level of production is at a level of production where the price is equal to the long run marginal cost. This situation allows the company to maximize profit. The firm supply curve for farm fresh is the portion of the marginal cost curve where the marginal cost is greater than the average variable cost. In the short run, the firm chooses its output so that marginal cost is equal to price as long as the firm cover its average variable cost. The short run supply curve is given by the cross-hatched portion of the marginal cost curve.
My name is Nurul Shazwani binti Muhammad Noor. My metric number is S63050. I want to present about the decision to withdraw from the market. The challenge faced by Farm Fresh in the marketing of dairy product is to face an insufficient supply of cattle feed to the point of having to import it with a high financing cost. In addition, the logistics are mainly to take fresh meat collected from farmers from all over Malaysia because more farmers are in remote areas and difficult to access by company. This will threaten Farm Fresh in the market and force to withdraw from the market. The use of machine has long resulted in inefficient production effect. This leads to an increase in production cost per unit. Relatively speaking, product prices in the market are getting cheaper due to intense competition and increase in production value. This will indirectly cause Farm Fresh product will suffer loss. This causes Farm Fresh to withdraw from the market because this will pose a threat to Farm Fresh if they continue to be in the market. The cost of raw material has increased by 25% to 30%, causing the production of Farm Fresh product to be limited. This will lead to unsatisfactory demand for Farm Fresh product, and this will be able to reduce the company sale revenue and the company profit will decline. Therefore, the productivity of the organization will also be affected. This will challenge the position of Farm Fresh to continue to be in the market. Before I start, I want to introduce about myself. My name is Nurul Shazwani binti Muhammad Noor. My metric number is S63050. I want to present about how does the company continue to grow. Farm Fresh is a leading fresh meat producer in Malaysia, which has its position as being the largest contributor to the country's dairy industry. The Farm Fresh company now aims to become the largest fresh meat producer in Southeast Asia. Plans are underway, where in addition to the Malaysian market, Farm Fresh also exports a range of products to Singapore, and the company aims to become the largest meat producer in Southeast Asia. The Farm Fresh company also recorded quite encouraging sales of RM120 million in 2017 and is target a 20% to increase this year. It is driven by the high demand for fresh meat, especially among new customers. The company is confident the target is achievable following the marketing strategy and initiative of legitimate distributors who have managed to contribute 20% to the company's sales. The company also allocated RM45 million to buy a farm in Australia and invested RM25 million for the improvement of a farm in Muazzam, Pahang. The company is also confident that with 300 employees, Farm Fresh will continue to grow and become the largest meat producer in the country in the future.
Next, I want to present about SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis is mean strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. Strength, I have 4 points. First, using high-tech and advanced equipment. Second, large product range. local brand and company, and last, no coloring and preservative. For weakness, I have 3 points: logistic management, low quality of service during a pandemic, and the last, spoiled milk before the expiration date. For opportunity, I have 3 points. First, introduce new products to attract customer. Second, health conscious product. And third, meets attract of milk and date. The last one, I have 3 points. First, with an inadequate supply of cattle feed. Second, climate change is affecting dairy production. And the last one, the power of strength of competitors. The first is strength. Strengths are internal factors of an organization that help to achieve organization objective. Just like other competitive companies, Farm Fresh also has strengths that lead to the company's success. Among them are: first, using high-tech and advanced equipment. Through the National Dairy Industry Plan made the government, it has some extent helped Lloyd. After that, Lloyd Milk has maintained its quality and renewed with the availability of manufacturing technology. Each time they receive milk from the farm, they will run a very strict milk quality test. Holstein Milk, Sdn Bhd now not only functioning as the country's largest dairy producer, but also transfer technology, especially insemination, to produce quality breeds. Its Director General of Operation, Azmi Zainal, said among the specialties of the Holstein farm is the use of technology to fertilize AFS cattle breeds in Melbourne, Australia, before being sent to the country. Second is large product range. Farm Fresh Company also recorded impressive sales of RM120 million in 2017 and increased by 20% annually. It is driven by high demand for fresh milk, especially among new customers. The company is so confident that the target is achievable in line with market strategies and distributor initiative that successfully contribute 20% to the company's sales. Farm Fresh also expects for its product range to increase during Ramadan, especially date milk. Farm Fresh also received requests from several countries for our product range, namely the Philippines, the Middle East, and Indonesia. The company is also confident that with 300 employees, Farm Fresh will continue to grow and become the largest milk producer in the country in the future. Third is local brand and company. Lloyd Tuan E rejects the tradition that Malaysians cannot sustain their own dairy products and industry. The founder of Holstein Dairy Company, Lloyd Tuan E, successfully switched from the packaging industry to the agriculture industry. In 2009, he bought land in Johor and imported 60 Holstein Jersey cattle from Australia to start a new business. Now, a very known company, and is in the process of expanding to Australia. It now has over 3,600 head of cattle in Malaysia and Australia. This is show that local brands are Farm Fresh strengths for expanding their business in the industry. 4 is no coloring and preservative. Farm Fresh officially website say all their products were made from fresh milk, contain no preservative and dyes, and were bottled fresh at their factory in Johor Bahru before being transported to local supermarkets. According to Director of Operation Azmi Zainal, Farm Fresh product now influence 39% of the local fresh milk market. They develop a specific marketing strategy to remain one of the Malaysian dairy companies selling fresh milk directly from afar. Meanwhile, some companies sell dairy products that have been mixed with imported milk powder and preservative. Second is weakness. Weakness are internal factor of an organization that can affect the development of a company. The weaknesses faced by Farm Fresh have obstructed some of their product. Among them are logistic management. Among other challenge is the logistic, especially to take fresh meat collected from farmers from all over Malaysia, because currently most farmers are in remote areas and difficult to access by companies. As one of those involved in the 30 Dairy Cluster Initiative Project, EPP program created to increase local milk production and reduce import dependence, as most of our farmers are still lagging behind. They need to stay out of the circle of ordinary breeders and be more disciplined. Second is low quality of service during a pandemic. Most companies around the world, including Malaysia, are struggling to weather the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic in their organizations, as the outbreak is affecting consumer service well. Employees face difficulties in performing their duties efficiently, as employees are only allowed to work 50% a day, and even a handful of employees have been fired by the company as a result of the outbreak. Farmfresh also has trouble receiving supply from Australia, as they are unable to import products, and all this will contribute to an effect to growth of their business. Third is spoiled meat before the expiration date. Although Farmfresh is known to be the best fresh meat at the moment, there are a handful of customers who complain that the milk purchased is spoiled. Fresh meat can expire even if you do not open the lid and or bottle of milk. There may be a small mistake while making the product, such as it may not get the right and correct temperature when the meat is stored in the refrigerator, or it may be the delivery time to take too long to arrive to the local market, which may cause the packaged milk cartons to be crushed and damaged before customer buy the product. Low quality of damaged product will return to the organization, as it is not easy maintaining of. Next is opportunity. Opportunities are external factors of the organization that assist in the achievement of objective. Opportunities can occur for a variety of reasons. Dairy companies can survive longer if they pay attention to health-conscious customers. First is introduce new products to attract customers. Previously, Farmfresh only produced fresh milk for the start of the business. Only after 6 years of the establishment, Farmfresh has made a great evolution. So Farmfresh is now able to produce the most popular fresh meat in Malaysia. Today, more than 20 fresh meat-based products are sold in the local market, and there is potential of export. Although dairy products in the country are dominated by well-known foreign brands, the company Farmfresh is committed to being a major player in the industry, even if it starts from the bottom. To date, Farmfresh produced over 20 dairy-based products: cafe latte, yogurt, skinny, Nubian ghost milk, natural yogurt, and Yara Master barista milk. Farmfresh also produces Yara Farm milk, Farmfresh lactose-free milk, Desaro cheese, and yogurt drinks, which are already sold under well-known brands from overseas, are available in a hypermarket across the country. Among our products that are in high demand from Farmfresh flavor milk. Second is health-conscious product. Milk and dairy products have a prominent place in the global food product market due to factors such as growing concern about vegetarian, the health advantage of milk and dairy products over non-vegetarian foods, and ecological balance. Consumption of milk and dairy products is increasing worldwide. This has resulted in increased milk production worldwide, and it is a countless source of vitamins and minerals such as calcium and magnesium. This can be a good opportunity for Farm Fresh to grow their business, as there are many people who love healthy food, love fresh milk. Third, mixed extract of milk and date. For Muslims, dates are a very popular fruit and highly encouraged to be consumed regularly. However, there are still many Muslims who have not yet implemented it in their eating habits. So, Farm Fresh produce their date milk with fresh milk and natural dates, claiming to be the best milk both especially for pregnant and breastfeeding mothers. This combination will encourage people who don't like to eat dates to think that they can take dates in different ways, and this will be one of the opportunities for Farm Fresh to attract people but their products. And the last one is trees. Trees are external factor of the organization that hinder the achievement of objective. Trees can also cause anything to happen up to damage to an organization, business or product. First, tree is faced with an inadequate supply of cattle-feed. The challenge of managing a business difficult, where Mr. Azmi, who is also not spared from the challenge in managing his business, he considers the challenge faced as a source of encouragement for him to continue to move forward. Encik Azmi had to face the problem of insufficient supply of cattle feed, so that he had to import it from a country that has a lot of grass, and the cost of each import of the grass consume high funding. It occurs when the grass that is the main food of the cattle does not grow due to weather factors. Second is climate change is affecting dairy production. The unusually hot summer in Malaysia has proven challenging for dairy farmers. The red hot weather and lag often has damaged crops and the grass used to feed farm animals too. The high ambient temperature and humidity seen this year, as well as extreme weather conditions such as flooding, are major challenge to the future of agriculture. Dairy cows are more likely to be vulnerable to the effects to climate change than cows that are housed, because housing provide shelter and technological option to mitigate the extreme of weather. This is somehow the threats to the Farm Fresh organization, since they farm costs, and it will affect their process of producing the fresh milk from the cows. The last one is the power and strength of competitors. Dairy companies need to work extra hard for new product innovation to remain competitive, driven by a supply pushes and a demand pull. The global milk and dairy products market are characterized by intense competition. Competition between business producing the same product is a threat faced by a company. This Farm Fresh organization has had to compete very strongly with other organizations or outside organizations that have long been selling similar products to it, such as Dash Lady, Good Day, Nestle, Marigold, and many more. When new competitor companies enter the market, this will cause competition to be fierce, and the company ability to increase sale will also be low. Competitors for Farm Fresh may been running the business for a long time and currently have a variety of ideas and strategies to strengthen their business. The well-known business name cause fierce competition to Farm Fresh to enter the existing market.
My name is Nurul Shazwani binti Muhammad Noor. My matric number is ECO3033. I want to present about strategy used by Farm Fresh to stay in the market. Farm Fresh can do several strategies to ensure that its products are more competitive and maintain its name in the market, namely by doing safe promotion, include display at some important marketing point or locations, and creating special advertising. Farm Fresh is recommended to promote their product through online marketing strategy. This is a corporate effort that Farm Fresh can do to build direct and good relationship with customers. Online marketing is less time consuming and an easy way to promote a product to the public. Farm Fresh can do some new strategy for product development. New product innovation can help Farm Fresh to retain loyal customers who are always looking for innovative products. Farm Fresh could launch several products that focus on the elderly.
Good morning everyone, my name is Kasturi Muniyandi and I'm from Group 6 who gonna present about the monopoly market for Microsoft Corporation. I'm gonna talk about the company's Microsoft Corporation's background. So first, the Microsoft created by Bill Gates and Paul Allen, which they inspire with the January cover of electronic magazines. So they published their first ever use in personal computer with MS-DOS, which is Microsoft Disk Operating System. So among the growth of Microsoft within the 1980s to 1990s, they get a dramatic shift in the growth, which they advanced their own browser, which is to Internet Explorer, and they release it for free for the users of personal computers. Moreover, from the 1990s to 20s, they also incorporate Internet Explorer directly into Windows by bundling it with Windows OS. Second one, I'm going to talk about the reasons that make the Microsoft Corporation has a monopoly. It is because in monopoly there is only one buyer, just single buyer in the market. As for Microsoft Corporation also, and also they concern with demand, unlike with monopoly who more concerned about the supply. And also the third one of power of setting its own price, because monopoly has a only single buyer and they can determine the price level of the product. That is why monopoly has the power of setting the price. And also the last one will be no substitute, because in monopoly market there are a lot of substitutes, and like two or more similar substitutes. Oligopoly do have some competitive products, but in monopoly there is no substitutes. It's to the next, I'm gonna talk about the type of market profits in monopoly. Being in a monopoly market, you always can maximize the profits. They always can achieve the economic scale and also the lower run average cost, which is because lower run average cost can always give you the profit, because your revenue will be more than the cost needed. And also for companies in monopoly market, they tend to invest in the R&D, research and development, which can give the positive reasons to make sure that environmental growth is important as their companies grow steadily. Moreover, this monopsony market also can maximize their products so often that they even can enjoy various types of benefits just by being the only buyer of in the monopsony. The next one will be characteristics of the monopsony market, where the first one will be having the buying power with the single buyer. You have only one single buyer, and of course they will have the power to determine the price and all that because there is like only one buyer. And second one will be no alternatives. There is like situation in the monopsony market where the sellers have no other alternatives rather than choosing the one. That is why there is no alternatives in monopsony market. And the third one will be barriers to entry. There is like a lot of companies wanted to join the monopsony market, but they just couldn't because there is like a lot of barriers. There is sometimes need of the government license or high startup costs to just being a monopsony company. The last part I'm going to talk about the conditions to maximize profits in monopsony. Okay, as you all can see in my slide, there is a graph in that, and there is a graph showing the profit and loss between the total revenue and total cost and in the normal profit in the monopsony market. And there is like as a Microsoft corporation, they always can easily maximize the profit because there is like one buyer and they can always accept high above their revenue and all that. And moreover, Microsoft corporation in monopsony market also can control the they have the ability to control the marginal cost and their volume of sales and all that, and they can take like they have the estimate level of products produced changes referred to as the marginal cost. Whenever we wanted to find about the profit, we need to search the price of the product and also how much quantity produced and manufactured. That is how we can get the profit or the loss. Since when the total cost is more than the revenue, then there is a loss there. And if the total revenue is more than total cost, then there is the profit for the company. Thank you so much.
Hi, I am Fatima Azara and I'm presenting on behalf of Nur Atika Shuhada. Monopsony power exists when a single buyer or an association of buyers can dictate the price they pay to suppliers or control other aspects of the relationship that exists between themselves and their suppliers. Determining the number of workers they hire, which may be below the market level of employment, forcing suppliers to make lump sum payment to the monopsonies, for example, for access to particular position in stores and outlets, or to pay for product wastage. There are several ways in order to control monopsony power. Governments and regulators, including setting up a specific regulator to monitor the activities of firms with monopsony power, such as UK's Grocery Code Adjudicator (GCA). The GCA can impose fines up to 1% of their annual UK turnover.
Doctor, my name is Kasturi Muniandi and today I'm going to present Nur Atika Shwada's part in this assignment. So the first one, I'm going to talk about the production level in monopsony market. Monopsony has the common labor markets which a single employer can take advantage of the workforce. When the workforce is like to reduce the cost that we use to in the workforce reduce, then the profit margin will automatically increase. It is because when the marginal cost is lower than the revenue, of course we can earn more profits. And the second one is decision to withdraw from the monopsony market. Monopsony also, even though monopsony has like a lot of power in setting up the price, and even though they are the only seller in the market, but still they have to need to take the decision to withdraw from the market if something like this happen in the future or in the long term or in the short term. When the total revenue is not that much comparable to the total cost, and also when the cost is more than the revenue earned by the company, and then they need to take a decision which can make the firm to continue or to discontinue from the operation. When there is like the variable cost is like a little than revenue, then they should take the decision to close the company or discontinue the growth of the company. And that is in the graph they are showing that they're showing about the dead weight loss, where there is like margin cost between the margin cost and also the margin revenue profit. So when there is like the production is more than the sales, when the first day the cost is so much, and the next day you will need to find a lot of money to compile with the cost that you that created there, because the cost is more than the revenue. Okay, monopoly company usually they will determine what to regulate and what is not allowed in the employment contracts. As I mentioned before, monopoly market only has the labor markets problems, has the low minimum wage for the laborers and also other than etc. And also they notice the periods which can affect the labor system and also the production level. So when they notice the periods which is suitable for which one, and they will take actions on that period specifically, so that there is no problem while trying to grow the company more in monopoly market. So they also like 0 hours contracts. When they are trying to make contracts with the employees, they should be very careful, since in monopoly market we need to make sure that all the characteristics of monopoly market defined so that the company can stay in the monopoly market.
Now, on behalf of Nuratika Shahada, I will deliver a SWOT analysis of Microsoft Corporation. Like every company, Microsoft Corporation also got their own SWOT analysis. First is strength. There are 3 strengths for Microsoft Corporation. The first is brand loyalty. Brand loyalty is the positive association consumer attached to a particular product or brand. Microsoft has been the leading OS and software provider, which resulted in more than 90% market share for PC. The second one is easy to use software. Windows operating system and Office software products are so popular not only because Microsoft has strong monopoly power, strong distribution channel, and a strong brand reputation, but also because Microsoft products are of excellent quality and extremely easy to use, as demonstrated by the following statistics. The third one is strong distribution channels. Microsoft now market and distributes their product and services largely through OEMs, distributors, resellers, and online. Their software are pre-installed on new PCs, tablets, servers, cell phone, and other intelligent devices sold to end users by OEMs. Meanwhile, many companies trust their product and services through direct enterprise agreements. Next, for the weakness. The first one is poor acquisition and investment. Few Microsoft acquisitions were successful, bringing new talents and competencies to the organization. Major acquisitions by Microsoft that were soon shut down or divested include Massive, Link Exchange, Web TV, and Danger. The second one is dependence on hardware manufacturers. Microsoft is a huge software company that relies on hardware makers to develop gadgets that run Windows OS. If a cheap and popular alternative OS appears, hardware manufacturers may adopt it, and Microsoft may be unable to intervene. The third one is slow innovate. For years, Microsoft has failed to enter new market with creative products despite having vast R&D resources. It wasted an opportunity to be the first player in online advertising. It entered the mobile OS market too late, while Google and Apple dominated. Now for the opportunities for Microsoft Corporation, the first one is cloud-based services. For years, Microsoft has failed to enter new market with creative products despite having vast R&D resources. It wasted an opportunity to be the first player in the market advertising. It entered the mobile OS market too late, while Google and Apple dominated. Second one is mobile advertising. Mobile advertising markets are expected to grow in double digits over the next few years
And Microsoft has a great opportunity to tap into this market with its mobile OS. And lastly, the third one is mobile device industry. Smartphones and tablets markets will grow steadily over the next few years, and Microsoft could exploit this opportunity by introducing more of its own tablet and a new company phone. And lastly, we move to treating Microsoft corporation structure. The first one is intense competition in software product. Microsoft is more than ever on the pressure to introduce successful OS both in PC and mobile market, as such competitors like Google and Apple have already established position. The second one is changing consumer needs and habits. Consumers are switching from laptops and desktop PCs to smartphones and tablets, where Microsoft has a small market share and may never establish itself. And the third one is potential lawsuit. Microsoft has been sued and lost many large-scale lawsuits. Lawsuits are time and money consuming, and if Microsoft keep doing this business as usual, expect more costly litigation.
And the last one is about strategic ways that needed to take care of in case the company wanted to stay in the market for the long term. As I said before, long term is like you need to take more action so that the company will grow steadily throughout the year of the process and production of the company. So the first one is for the Microsoft Corporation is reduce the job lock through the Affordable Care Act. As I explained in my report, Care Act is like affordable policy insurance where you can get employees a free insurance where they can afford the medicine ones in case that something happens. So when we all offer the Affordable Care Act, so the employees will think that this job is better, not much better than the other ones. So they think that this offers this Affordable Care Act, like this beneficial to the employees, but the other one doesn't. So there is like one plus point in the ways to make sure that the market stayed in the long term. And the second one is promote equal pay, since like nowadays according to a US search, I get to know about the female and male not equality pay. So when they promote the equal pay, so the number of employees also will increase, and the production level also will increase. When the number of employees increase, and automatically the number of production will increase also. That is why when you promote the equal pay, there is like no unfairness or any revengeness, like the negative mind among the employees, which can create some obstacles in growing the company in the long term. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Wan Izzati binti Wan Samsudin. My matric number S622226. I will explain about oligopoly. First, background. Netflix became primarily based totally in August 1997 by serial entrepreneurs Mark Randall and Reed Hastings. The company started in Scott Valley, California. Netflix is most well known for media streaming features and also DVD rental services. Netflix went public in 2002 with 6,100 members and fewer than 400 workers. By 2005, Netflix had 4.2 million subscribers. Netflix changed the entertainment paradigm in 2007 when it introduced instant streaming of movies and TV shows. Second, the reasons are categorized based on market structure. Netflix's market structure can be defined as oligopolistic because it competes with a small number of interconnected competitors to provide streaming services as cable alternatives such as Amazon and Hulu. According to the barrier of entry, entering this market requires a large amount of financing as well as the appetite and experience to broker license arrangement with production firms and television networks. Take the type of profit earned. If costs remain constant, the rectangle P star ABC represents the maximum profit this industry can generate. Corner's model: if only company in the industry will produce for half of the market and make OP1, a key one. Firm 2 maximize its profit by producing half of the remaining market Q1 D1 or a quarter of the market Q1 Q2. Firm 1 will base its output decision in Firm 2's output. 4. Characteristic of oligopoly. First, a small quantity of huge company. Because of these qualities, each of the relatively large corporation has significant market control. Second, interdependence among the firms. Because a few firms control a sizable portion of the industry output, the price and output decision of competing firms have an impact on each firm. Third, product characteristic. The products of oligopolies can be homogeneous or differentiate. Fourth, barriers to entry. Common barriers to entry include economy of scale, absolute cost advantage for asserting enterprise, price cutting risk. 5. Selling costs. Selling expenses are critical when competing for a higher market share with other firms. Next, profit maximization condition. When firms in an oligopoly market choose production to maximize profit, they produce more than the monopoly market but less than the competitive market. The oligopoly price is higher than the competitive price but lower than the monopoly price.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and selamat sejahtera. My name is Nur Sofia Azwa binti Muhammadiyah and my matric number is S63560. Today I will present about oligopoly companies, which is Netflix. First, pricing in oligopoly market. Pricing is the process of determining something that a company will receive in exchange for its product result. Pricing factors are manufacturing cost, marketplace, competition, market condition, and product quality. Pricing is also a key variable in microeconomic pricing theory. For the Netflix company, the pricing is done by the company itself. Netflix has offered an affordable price to every customer. For example, Netflix only give on a fixed monthly fee such as a plan between RM70 to RM55 per month. In addition, Netflix does not provide additional costs and no contract imposed. Second is about production level in an oligopoly market. Maximizing profits, a company produce a product in an amount where MR equal MC. The company will get maximum profit with optimal production value. A market leader could be a product, brand, company, organization, group name which has the highest percentage of total sale revenue of a particular market. Market leader dominate the market by influencing customer loyalty toward its distribution, pricing, and others. The market leader for delivery companies in Malaysia is Astro. This is said to be so because of their higher production level than the Netflix company. Malaysia customer in Malaysia choose Astro because they have more broadcast option. For example, HBO, Show, First, and so on. Thus, the competition between Astro and Netflix has made these two companies even more advanced. Next, about the decision to withdraw from the market in an oligopoly market. The challenge faced by Netflix company in marketing their streaming service is the lack of the fast internet around the world. For example, Africa is the second largest continent in the world with a large population, but only a few % of the African population has access to the internet. In addition, internet speed in Africa are also slow and have expensive service. Next, in the pricing challenge, Netflix should produce a systematic pricing structure to meet the needs of each market. For example, some countries get monthly Netflix subscription at a cheaper price than in the US. Therefore, Netflix needs to consider pricing for all customers in the world and needs to find lower prices, as it is a good idea to stay in the market and be able to compete with local competition. Other than that, about how the company continues to grow in a oligopoly market, the Netflix company continues to grow by selling more goods to the same customer, and the advantage of Netflix can grow without having to buy or produce new goods. This is because they only need a third party to develop and update the content in Netflix words. They only take their fees or share of the proceeds from a third party. Besides, about quality control, Netflix is also the same as other companies when turning their product into a platform such as Amazon. Netflix strives to maintain the quality of its product, namely movies and TV program as well as possible. This is to keep the good name of their company from being further affected, so that the company can survive in business. The quality produced must be able to provide lucrative return and always be appreciated by customers. Finally, about SWOT analysis. Strengths. Netflix also offer many opportunities from film and TV show director. Films that are creative, produce and have new ideas will be shown on the Netflix channel. Therefore, many experienced film directors strive to find the best idea in filmmaking. It will also increase the company profit because it shows movie and TV shows that many people like. Second, weaknesses. Netflix company is that Netflix has limited copyright in the making of movie or TV shows. This is what can affect a decision in the process of making film and TV shows. Indirectly will make the debt of the company will be increasing. Many program or movie cannot be published. Opportunities. Netflix company only sign up for Netflix executive content. They have managed to bring more new ideas or product to customer. For example, video game, comic books that are the crave of children and teenagers and more. This will ensure the continuity of the Netflix company business. Lastly, trade. COVID-19 is the biggest threat to all companies. The outbreak has affected the production of new TV shows and movies. Like most other parts of the entertainment industry, Netflix was also affected by the COVID-19 outbreak. Due to the COVID-19 epidemic that has hit the world in recent years, all companies have made it a normal thing that has become a habit to all. However, they need to control movement to reduce the spread of the epidemic and make the situation better in the company. The strategy used to stay in the market. The strategy used by the Netflix company to stay in the market is by going through partner. Netflix already has more than 35 partners worldwide. They have partnered with various types of companies to facilitate business dealings. Among Netflix partners such as Apple, Android, Microsoft, Samsung and so on. Relationship with partners are conducted to exchange opinion or to get new or creative ideas to produce a film. Second, Netflix use digital marketing strategies to expand its market worldwide. They use official websites, Facebook, Instagram for the use of customer to communicate and find information about the company. Lastly, product development. Product development is to develop and sell new products in the current market online. For example, Netflix use product development strategies as an advantage to be competitive, to generate new ideas that are more relevant and liked by customers. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Nadia Shakira binti Zunarizam alias Zahuze at 63298. Before this, we already go through perfect competition, monopoly and oligopoly types of market. Now we move to monopolies, market structure. Every company has their own background. For De Beers are one of the largest company in diamond mining and diamond trading industries. A diamond monopoly was originally held by C.C. Rhodes Enterprise. Founded in 1888, De Beers company tagline is "A diamond is a forever." This company located in Luxembourg, which is the company's main office. The name of the De Beers were the inspiration from the two Dutch pioneers, Brother Diederik Arnoldus and Johannes Nicholas. Most De Beers company activities take place through Botswana. De Beers company is a provider of diamond-related products and services such as rings, watches, necklace, earrings, bracelet for women and men, and jewelry for both sexes. They are also involved in the manufacture and marketing of goods and services.
This is considered as a monopoly because it is a multinational firm that specializes in diamond mining, retail trading, and manufacturing industries. It was nearly the only company selling diamonds with no close substitute and assumed complete control of global diamond trade in 1989. De Beers controlled 80 to 85% of raw diamond distribution in 1888 until the beginning of 21st century.
Next is the types of profit earned by De Beers. In the long run, earnings under monopoly competitions are zero. De Beers earning will be zero since the diamond market has attained long-run equilibrium. As a result, De Beers profit is normal profit or regular profit. The terms of normal profit and economic profit frequently used interchangeably. When the company's or industry profit is zero, it is said to be in a normal profit. Accounting profit differs from the normal profit and economic profit in that it does not account for hidden costs. If the opportunity costs continue commercial activities are significant, a corporation like De Beers may record a high accounting profit yet still be in a typical profit situation. Economic profit is more possible in a monopoly because the firm is in issue control the pricing and the quantity of the commodities offered. This situation is primarily depend on presence of considerable entry barriers, which prevent other business from simply joining the market and driving costs down, therefore undermining the monopoly of a dominant corporation. Next, we move to the characteristic of the monopoly market. As we know, monopoly market has one seller but many buyers. This market, which only has one seller, sells a single product, and the single firm has significant price control, and non-price competitors does not exist. There are a few characteristics of this market structure, such as one seller but many buyers, no substitute product, entry constraint, and the power to determine the price of goods. First is single seller, where there is no more firm in this industry. As we know, De Beers is the miner and the buyer of 90% of the world rough diamonds and has no competitors in the market, so the whole supply of the product depends on the firms. Second is no substitute product. De Beers are the most sold seller of diamond. Majority diamonds from the miners sold to the De Beers. This company sells the commodity with no close substitute product can produce and sell in the market from other firms. Next is entry constraint, which means they have no freedom to exit or enter the market. As we know, De Beers was full control of 90% of the world diamond production. That means other firms can compete with them because they already patent their product to make sure they survive in the market. Lastly, they have the power to determine the price of the goods. De Beers has sole authority over the pricing and amount of diamond to be sold. Diamond was exceptionally rare because no diamond mines discovered before. They only can be found in a small quantity in a several country. Nowadays, the price of the diamond is surprisingly stable and keep rising. This company can sell more by lowering the price or controlling the quantity supplied to vary the price.
Maximum profit condition. A company goals is to make as much money as possible. Same goes to De Beers. Firms look at the marginal revenue revenue, MR, the total additional revenue from selling one additional unit of production, and marginal cost, MC, the total additional cost of producing one further unit of output to discover the profit maximizing point. The optimal level of productivity for a profit maximizing corporation occurs when MR equal to MC, the level of output at which MR equals to 0, which is Q, is the best level of output for the revenue maximizing corporation. A profit maximizing monopoly firms will charge P, while a revenue maximizing monopoly firms will charge for P.
Next, we move to the price fixing. In today's increasingly tough competition, particularly in the buyer's market, the function of pricing is critical, particularly in maintaining and improving a company's market position, which is represented in its market share, as well as growing sales and profits. De Beers diamond prices fluctuate widely in 1980. A D-flawless 1-carat round diamond cost $62,000 in 1986. The same 1-carat diamond cost $30,000, causing havoc in the diamond business. De Beers bought the vast majority of diamonds produced and sold them 10 times a year at sites between 125 and 250 site holders. De Beers had complete control over not only who could purchase but also how much they could acquire. They could decide how much diamonds they wanted to sell and how much they wanted to sell them for. De Beers kept site holders in line by requiring them to follow strict procedures. They couldn't negotiate pricing or terms. Site holders have the option of agreeing or being actively locked out of the market. De Beers has a history of managing supply, carefully holding back goods when prices fall, and charging site holders greater fees.
Optimal production level. Optimal level of production is where marginal revenue equals to marginal cost. According to demand curve, when De Beers drops its prices, it loses money on the 80 million carats of diamond it was previously selling, but it gains money on the 40 million new carats it is able to sell. When the areas of the increases and losses are added together, they equal to $64,000 based on the diagram. Surplus producer, green area, 2,700 minus to 1,300 times 65 plus 1,300 minus 0 times 65 and divided by 2 equals to $133.25 billion. Surplus, while for surplus of consumer, which is blue area, 4,000 minus 2,700 times 65 and divided by 2 equals to $42.25 billion. Lastly is surplus of market, which is green plus blue area, equals to $175.5 billion.
Now we talk about the decision of the De Beers to pull out from the market. De Beers had the capacity to secure the inventory in a declining market or increasing the price paid to the site holders to ensure the stable but continued increasing diamond price. They had the surplus supplies on hand and start releasing them when necessary and avoiding unreasonable price increase. To ensure the diamond trade company sustained, De Beers required to secure the world raw diamond supplies. Mining discovered in Russia, Australia and Canada in the late 20th century complicated the De Beers global supply management. The fear of this cartel that these new world-class miners will bypass them and sell straight to the market. In 1950s, Russia begins diamond mining. The Russians intended to supply De Beers to keep the cartel together. The agreement was jeopardized in 1963 when anti-apartheid legislation prohibited the Soviet Union from doing business with South Africa Company. The fall of Soviet Union in 1990s wasn't the problem, as political uncertainty and weak currency further separately from De Beers. Due to the De Beers' inflexibility, the Argyle mines of Australia broke away from the cartel. New global mines in Canada chose to market their supply separately from the De Beers. The company purchased the diamond from the secondary market at a premium to retain supply control, but the plan failed due to the high cost. De Beers market had declined from 90% in 1980s to less than 60% in 1990s. Given their loss of market dominance, De Beers declared in 2000 that they will focus on independent marketing of their brand.
Before this, my team Zahra already explained about the decision to pull out from the market. Now I will explain how De Beers expand their business. Expansion is needed by every company. De Beers is very proud of its unique diamond jewelry, and the perfect appearance can prove their diamond charm selected brands. De Beers Iris Flame Detector is an exclusive technology. Each De Beers store is equipped with this instrument. The company's attempt to influence by seducing potential buyers through the use of all elements of marketing reference is called promotion. Promotional activities carried out by a company is the use of a combination of elements or promotional equipment that reflects the implementation of promotional policies called promotional mix. That is advertising, personal selling, sales promotion and publicity. De Beers introduced to our customer 4C standards, which are cut, clarity, carat weight, and color.
SWOT analysis. The internal factors in De Beers SWOT analysis include strengths and weaknesses, whereas the external factors are opportunities and threats. De Beers strengths are have about 20,000 employees around the world. One of the largest diamond mining, trading, and manufacturing firms, offers luxury diamond jewelry through 50 locations, globally strong brand name and equity, known for its brand ambassador, and lastly, has outstanding branding and marketing. As for the weaknesses are, share growth is constrained due to stiff competition and people prefer gold to diamond, making a high-end item for special occasion. Opportunities that De Beers gets are potential to expand its market share on a global scale, acquiring small businesses to broaden the brand's appeal and reach, and lastly is collaboration with corporation and other businesses. Last but not least, threats that can put it at risk are innovations and R&D are investment because trends change quickly. People's spending decreases as the economy fluctuates. Lastly, government policies and taxes have an impact on the premium jewelry market.
And now I will present about the strategy used by De Beers to stay in the market. Sales, promotion, short-term incentive to encourage the purchase of sale of a product or service. Include display at a number of important marketing points or location, parcels, discount, shopping coupons, and special advertising. And here are the end of our presentation. In a nutshell, encouraging strategic decision making is crucial to market structure. Understanding market structure impacts how businesses and individuals make decisions. In this way, they will learn about their competitors and how the market will change. There were 4 market forms studied in this paper: perfect competition, monopsony, oligopoly, and monopoly. They are include in-depth information on each market structure as well as real-life examples. Thank you.